What's good, YouTubers and YouTubettes? This is JBsports back again with another one. Legendary promoter and CEO of Top Rank Boxing, Bob Arum, aka the Bob Father, recently came out and said that the Manny Pacquiao versus Terrence Crawford fight is dead in the water due to the fact that the Saudi investors could not show proof of funds. The Saudi investors promised a lot of things, but when it got down to it, the money was not there. Bob Arum also said that Terrence Crawford's next fight will take place no later than September, and his opponent will not be a top-ranked fighter. That leads to a lot of widespread speculation, but I've had strong indications that his next opponent will be either Shawn Porter or Josesito Lopez. Those are the two fighters that Bob Arum is looking at for Terrence Crawford's next fight. And it's going to boil down to money. If it's not making dollars, it ain't making sense. Shawn Porter going to have to make a decision here. He's the guy that's the front runner for this fight. But he's going to have to choose a legacy over money. He's not going to get what he made in the Errol Spence Jr. fight. If he's looking for in the neighborhood of $5 million, he's not going to get the fight. Josesito Lopez is going to get the fight. Bob Arum came out on Barbershop Conversation and said that he was willing to pay Shawn Porter $1 million. He's saying it's a fight that casual boxing fans are not clamoring for. It's a fight for the hardcore fans. But the fans that they need to draw and get successful pay-per-view numbers are not clamoring for that fight. He did say later on after that statement on Barbershop Conversation that he would be willing to double that and go up to $2 million. But that's going to be a $2 million flat fee. It's not going to be no $2 million, and if the fight's on pay-per-view, you get some of the back-end money like that was the case with the Errol Spence Jr. fight. It's going to be $2 million flat fee. So if Shawn Porter refuses to accept that type of pay, then they're going to go to Josesito Lopez. Josesito Lopez. That's who they're going to go with. And he's more than willing to take in the neighborhood of $1 to $2 million for a Terrence Crawford fight. There'll be an opportunity to fight for the WBO welterweight title. And it's a huge fight, and a fight that he's been asking Al Heyman for in his next fight. He said he wants a big fight next after he fought on the undercard of a Fox pay-per-view. I can't remember who was the headline, but he fought on a Fox pay-per-view and put on a performance, good performance. It was a real good fight, back and forth battle with a fellow Latino fighter. And after that fight, he said Al Heyman promised him a big fight, and Terrence Crawford would fit that bill. So we will see what happens, and we will see what transpires. But that's what's going to boil down to. Obviously, Shawn Porter is a tougher opponent. He's a guy that's a bull in a china shop. He's bringing a lot of pressure. He's going to test you. He's going to throw a lot of punches. He's going to try to bogart you. He's going to try to roughhouse you. He's a guy that's going to make you uncomfortable in the ring. Terrence Crawford haven't seen that too much in his career. But Terrence Crawford, in my opinion, is the #1 fighter in boxing. He will make the necessary adjustments and start to pick apart the bum rushing of Shawn Porter, and I think he wins a decision victory over Shawn Porter. I think he rocks Shawn Porter a couple of times in that fight, but Shawn Porter has a real good chin. The punch he got dropped with Errol Spence Jr. was a punch he just didn't see, but he took a lot of hard shots in the Keith Thurman fight. Got wobbled a couple of times, but didn't go down. He got dropped by Adrian Broner. That was in the 12th round when he kind of lost focus. But he's shown to have a pretty strong chin. And even though Terrence Crawford has a 6-fight knockout streak, I think Shawn Porter does not get knocked out by Terrence Crawford. But I think Terrence Crawford outpoints him in a decision victory. As far as Josesito Lopez goes, I think that's just a whitewash. I think Terrence Crawford washes him. I think he picks him apart from the get-go. I think Josesito Lopez is going to try to apply pressure. He's a guy that's got very tall for the weight class, that being Josesito Lopez. He's got a pretty good reach advantage. He's a guy that's a strong guy, but he's got a lot of holes in the defense. And a guy that's his precision and has a high boxing IQ as Terrence Crawford will pick apart a fighter of that caliber. And I expect the Terrence Crawford to stop Josesito Lopez in the second half of that fight. Maybe even early in the second half of the fight. I ain't talking about late. I'm talking about around 8. I see him stopping him in a impressive fashion and continuing his knockout streak. But we will see what happens and we will see what transpires. But those are the two fighters that is going to be one of those two are going to get the next fight with Terrence Crawford. You might be hearing about other names like Keith One Time Thurman and Connor Ben and guys like that are non-top rank boxers, but don't believe none of that. It's down to two fighters. It's down to Josesito Lopez, and it's down to the front runner, Shawn Porter, who's going to have to make a decision to choose legacy over money. Because if he beat Terrence Crawford, he's sitting in the catbird seat, and then he's looking at a undisputed clash in a rematch with Errol Spence Jr., which will pay him more than he made in the first fight with Errol Spence Jr. He will be able to get the bag once he beats Terrence Crawford, but he's going to have to be willing in these pandemic times to settle for less than he actually prefers and actually wants. So we'll see what happens, and we will see what transpires. Hit the like button if you like the content of this video, and let me know your thoughts in the comment section. And subscribe to JB Sports, the man, the myth, the legend, and I'll holla.